Initially advertised as a limited series, which is keeping to form for West Coast Avengers. We have a brand new title that was advertised here. Kelly Thompson, Stefano Caselli. It's the new West Coast Avengers. Very new team, very new outlook. Same zaniness as the original? Let's see. Hey everybody, this is Perch. This title got a lot of people pissed when it was advertised. I think the logo that was kind of graffiti style, and then the team and the way it was solicited, it was like the real Hawkeye is leading her team, and you know that when you it's bait. If you put something like that out, it's just going to bait people. But anyway, the before the book came out, like I said, a lot of people were pissed. It was one of those titles that, and certainly something from about 2018 on. Marvel was being really successful at getting people angry from just solicitations, from a single image and some solicitation text. Could get people mad, and it does continue today. You see it with the New Warriors comic that they advertised for 2020 that's kind of in limbo now. That's a gift. You can get people angry from a single image, but that's what you can do. Anyway, this title... Just to spoil it a little bit, I did not like it, but a lot of people didn't like it for completely different reasons why I didn't like it. So I say it at the beginning so people can know that going in. If they hear me kind of being irritable about things, it's not the same. I don't care that they've got a woman leading the team. That's been done before. One of the best eras, if not the best era of the Avengers for me, as I'm doing all these, was when Monica Rambeau was leading the team. I thought that was a really solid set of issues. I thought that was really, really good. I'm talking about the 80s now. So it's not any of that. I don't care if some of the characters here are gay. Sure. I mean, that's not the problem. But, in these times, this is what we got to say. So we open right up, and I think the first page kind of clearly identifies why I dislike it. They're doing a reality TV show. So I didn't like it when Bendis was doing the oral history of the Avengers. I don't like these talking kind of moments, but for whatever reason, this is a storytelling method that writers like, and I don't like being it just this almost I'm tying myself up. Anyway, Hawkeye is talking, and he is we get some, which camera am I looking at, and so on, and then he's being asked why Kate Bishop, isn't she a bit young to lead, a bit inexperienced? And so Hawkeye's like, that tells me you know nothing about Kate Bishop. Do you even do research for these questions? Do you know how many times Kate has gotten killed for you people? And they're leading right off with what has been kind of an internet meme. So at the time, again, for a little bit of context, they're pushing Kate Bishop over at Marvel. People are like, I don't like Kate Bishop at Marvel, and so these kind of fan irritations make their way into comics. And I mean, in most cases, these irritations come and go like the wind. So to canonize them in the actual comics feels pointless. I mean, why? Especially if you're at Marvel and you're a writer, why do you care about some of this stuff? I think you should care certainly what fans think. But if fans are angry about something, you don't need to write that into a comic as a way to kind of make fun of fans. It rubs me the wrong way, because in many cases, I'm with you, comic writers. I'm with you. I think a lot of the outrage stuff is nonsense. So I don't like to then pick up a comic 6 months later and we're still talking about it, or do a video 2 years later. Anyway, whatever. So we get away from that blissfully. So thank you. At least we're not going to spend 8 pages doing reality TV show stuff like other comics have done. We actually do get into some action. The action are land sharks. So the sharks are Kate Bishop is on top of a shark and she's shooting them with arrows, and she needs help because the land sharks are running around Santa Monica. Which would be bad for Santa Monica. I mean, the traffic is absolutely terrible there. This is it's empty in Santa Monica. Anyway, so Clint Barton, the other Hawkeye, the original OG Hawkeye, whatever. And by the way, Marvel's still doing this. Clint Barton generously sharing a codename with Kate Bishop. Yes, it's confusing. I wish this hadn't quite died yet, where we're going to use the hilarious little subtitles to all the code names, which by this point was thoroughly driven into the ground. But anyway, this comic in general is kind of things have been driven into the ground with the reality TV show stuff, and we'd seen it before. So Hawkeye gets snagged by America Chavez. She opens up a star portal, chucks Hawkeye out of it, and then goes in and starts punching up and stopping the land sharks, which is good use of America Chavez. America Chavez, now here's where I'll break from a lot of people. America Chavez is a good character. They've got a good power set. A lot of good, unique, some interesting things to her. This is not a review of her solo series and everything that was going on there at the time, but they overcomplicated what was a pretty solid character. The character had a lot of good things to it, and then they introduced the crazy planet and all that kind of nonsense. But when the character is able to just show up and do some superhero stuff, it's good. So Hawkeye and Hawkeye are riding the land shark and shooting them with arrows for some reason, whereas America Chavez is chucking them back into the ocean. I'm not completely sure if that would help anything, because I think they just walk back up, but that's all right. And we meet Johnny Watts, aka Fuse. He's dating Kate Bishop, and he's basically there to help. And he's punching as well. He can turn himself into different. He's like the Absorbing Man, basically. It's Absorbing Man character. So we get some sequences of Kate Bishop's doing something with the land shark, where she is kind of riding the shark down the Santa Monica Pier, not the pier, the beach area. That pier would not hold up under any of this. I keep expecting a lot of people to get on that. It's going to collapse anyway, but. So they kind of steer the sharks into the water, and that gets rid of them. So that works, I guess. So the sharks are not evil; they need to get to the water, and it's unclear what the threat was here. But later, they go to Hawkeye Investigations on Venice Beach. All the places you love. An office in Venice, that'd be very expensive, I think. Well, maybe not. Anyway, it's an apartment. So they're eating pizza, and they decide to make a team. And they do it the way you always do it. They create a little flyer that they're going to paste on a telephone pole. And then we get some sequences of a bunch of super crappy California-based. We have the Toast guy, and then we have a diva, and then we got a Spider King, and we have Dr. Mole and the Squid. Yeah, we have basically a bunch of losers who are showing up to this event, and eventually Gwenpool shows up. Gwenpool was kind of trying to be done. Gwenpool's origin in Marvel was that she was a variant cover, and Chris Bachalo kind of drew, Gwen Stacy as Gwenpool, as a Deadpool, and then she got her own comic, and Marvel fell in love with her for some reason. Anyway, so there she goes. So she wanted to get up for tacos, and she joins the team, as well as Quentin Quire shows up. He's Kid Omega from the Wolverine and the X-Men, or Wolverine School of X-Men series. And he's the most powerful person on the team. Well, I don't know. America Chavez, Quentin Quire are definitely the powerhouses on the team, and he's got financial backing, and they're doing a reality show. So he apparently has been filming one for a while, and now they're there, and they argue, and they have a lot of conversations. This comic seemed to want to get rid of the shark stuff very quickly, so we could get to kind of some drama with the team. But most of the drama is the guys are telling, Kate is down, and other people are telling Kate she's great. So we get, you've done something amazing. You're incredible, Kate. I love you, Kate. Well, she didn't say I love you, but there's just a lot of don't forget the facts. You're amazing. This comic seems really built around saying that Kate is wonderful. And I think it's weird, because they have a couple scenes where she's tackling the shark, she's steering the sharks into the water. Though that's amazing, right? That is amazing. So they could do that rather than have like Fuse or like panels about Quentin Quire complaining about leaving towels on the bathroom floor, and that's several panels of that. But anyway, so they head back to Santa Monica because there's another problem, and there's a giant tigra coming out of the water, and she's just used her tail is gone. But anyway, I'm not sure. I think that happened in continuity at some point. Her tail went away. I don't know. Anyway, so they fly up to try and figure out what's going on with Tigra. I think Kid Omega could pretty much take care of it on its own, but she punches him anyway, and then the Gwenpool carjacks someone and then saves them. And suddenly, and there's teasing some tension between Gwenpool and Kid Omega. They wind up dating, I think, later in the series. Why not? So Tigra picks up a boat and she's like trying to smash people with it. They're saving civilians. So again, there's some good bits here of the heroes are doing their heroing stuff, but they're also like Tigra's flying a boat into an apartment building and they're stopping it so they don't have the collateral damage, and that's good stuff. I think it's showing some action, it's showing some hero stuff, and as they're kind of standing around talking like, hey, what are we supposed to do? I know Quentin Lunch, he has shut her down. In comes a guy with abs and a giant head, and it is Brodok, and Brodok is here to save the day, and this is like a California MODOK. His name is, he's a bio-robotic organism designed overwhelmingly for kissing. Anyway, so the original West Coast Avengers was a lighter take. A lot of people forget that when it was broken off from the regular Avengers title, and it was more of a jokesy take. I mean, John Byrne would later come in; they would do some serious stuff. It would get really dark with Mockingbird getting kind of not raped or raped. It depends on what era of continuity. They had her get raped, and they erased it later down the road, and she killed a guy, and so it got kind of dark. But at the beginning, it was kind of wacky. And it's good. At least in issue 2, Tigra gets her tail back, so that's good. But it's a strange. It's very much, like I said, it's very much a comic of the times. They were big on doing the reality TV show. They were doing the oh my god, so wacky, Brodok. Oh my goodness, I can picture kind of the writer like, oh, this is gonna be, we're gonna give sharks legs, and there's gonna be a California Brodok. Everybody loves MODOK. I mean, he's in that Secret Avengers. MODOK's everywhere. He is our biggest villain, so we will have a Brodok, and then we need to make sure that everybody realizes Kate Bishop's awesome, so we get to do that. And it's this title didn't last very long, and part of the reason it is a shame, because there are bits here where it's like, oh, here's some sequences where heroes are doing hero things, and they're kind of bickering while doing the hero things, and that's fine. But then it feels like the writer continuously is in a real hurry to get those things out of the way and get to either the characters talking to a camera for the reality TV show, or talking at each other, or arguing with each other, or doing kind of zany stuff together. It feels like the creators really hate the fact they're writing a superhero comic, and it needs to have some action from time to time, and just want to make that stuff LOL so funny, and and focus in on the talking at each other about wet towels on the floor. It feels like there's some argument in the apartment of one of the creators around wet towels, and so they're like, let's make that into the comic. But what do I know? Anyway, this was West Coast Avengers. Did you like it? Were you into this series? Like I said, a lot of people are outraged because there were girls on the team, or maybe they were. I don't know why people are outraged and all that, but a lot of the complaints came in hot and heavy long before the comic ever saw the light of day, and that's not fair. But when we actually did see the comic, it wasn't the best. So that's the way it works sometimes. I don't know. Did you like it? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all those things. Follow me on Twitter or Facebook at Comic Perch. And thanks for listening.